Okay, guys, AB Investments is back with you. Um, One of the reasons why I always start every video with a smile is also the same reason why everybody that knows me personally in my life knows that I'm always smiling. They're always saying, like, why are you always smiling? Like, you never have bad. Well, no, that's not entirely true. Obviously, we all have bad moments and have bad days and bad energy and all that. That comes at you. But that's my way of one, not like to always smile is for me to try to change the negative narrative to the positive one, and two, to not impose that negativity that I might possess at that moment onto someone else, because it is not fair that if I'm going, like, for someone else, for me, because I'm going through something, that means the whole world has got to go through it. That's my struggle. That's part of my struggle. And when there is a sunshine on my life, somebody else is having it dark. So there's clouds on somebody else's day, and we all just have to be able to either be there for each other, or no, at least at minimum, not to expect it from anyone, and not, you know, not put it or oppose it on somebody. Um, so that's why I'm always smiling in the beginning of every video, and hopefully throughout all the times. Now, the previous video that I uploaded, I know it was very negative. Not that it was bad. I was just giving out the real, guys, like what I see happening in the market. Like, if there's anything positive about this market, we wouldn't be looking at this market the way that it is today, and similar to the whole last year. I did point out some really, really valuable DD, guys. Remember, again, the wealthy top 1% got more rich this past year and a half than the entire history of the American, society ever. This is very alarming, of course, because the transfer of wealth didn't transfer to the right place. It transferred to the wrong place, even bigger, almost in every sector, if not in every sector. Um, so this is what I was talking about in that previous video, and how I feel like they're preparing us for a nothing burger, through the media and through our YouTubers. So I want each single one of my people that follow my channel to, and hopefully the rest of the community, to think alike, like this. Like, I'm trying to get everybody to think like actual full investors that don't need um, someone in order to get to understand what's coming their way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to keep your eyes on all the sectors. You have to keep your market on eyes on all the news on what's happening. So this is my objective. That's just it. Like, for entertainment, of course, because obviously I'm not a financial advisor, and neither this is financial advice. Um, but at the end of the day, this is who I am. I will give it to you real, whether good, bad. I'll give it to you real. It's up to you to take it the way you want to take it, and you can throw it out. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. Majority of the people out there just want to hear what they want to hear, or they want to see what they want to see, and that's sad, because you're that's not how things work in life. Um, you're walking yourself willingly towards an upset. So keep your brain and your eyes open, guys. Um, Now, on the bright side, what we have, if we're one collected, like, strong arm, like we've been for the last year, and let's say, hypothetically speaking, they're fixing to give us that nothing burger, and that goes through like that, then guess what? They will not go nowhere with this. Why? Because none of us majority of us are not going to sell. And even when it might look like everything was done, I mean, they've done this before, guys. Remember back in January, it went up to 24, 27. And that's AMC, as far as AMC, and then GameStop went to 480 or 60, and they dropped it back down to almost where, to the same level that it took off from. And guess what? It did not. They started pushing out the news and the media saying that this is it, this was over, the squeeze is done and everything, and they saw that majority of the people did not buy that crap and did not eat that burger that they were given to them. They continued to push that campaign until 6 months later, in June. That's when the next rise happened, and yeah, GME went up just to the $300 range. because first it dropped back in January when it went up to the four highs. At some point it dropped back down to about $30, 33, $35, and it, they tried to see if obviously it was over. They wanted the majority of the people that did not sell, they wanted them to sell, and they did not sell, at the 30. They basically wanted to use us against us. This is all they can do, is use us against us, because we hold the shares. We are our own worst enemy or best friend. So that's why I say we have to be collectively really holding on, like tight hand to hand with each other. So when you look at it, when they dropped AMC and GameStop back down, June it went back up again, and AMC had its high, and that was not even the squeeze, because they tried to see, and then they dropped it after that, which is what leading up to this moment. They dropped it from the 70s all the way down throughout those 6 months, 8 months now almost, that has been going away. They dropped it all the way down to almost where it took off from. It took off from $12. I remember it. I was there, and they almost took it out. Like when they dropped it to the 13s last week, a week and a half ago. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. And they saw that, they couldn't let, this is where the technical analysis kick in. So the previous high, point where we took off from, they didn't let us touch that, because that's where their base was, like where their ceiling was. So it took up from there, and now it's in the 19s, 18s. Obviously, it's going to close much less than 19 this week. It's just like the way that it is, because obviously they don't want any of these contracts going into the money. And again, this is what's been halting this whole thing, is the fact that every week in, week out, there's thousands of options that are onto display. And if they let this thing squeeze with all these options on board, then it becomes kind of like crazy, like an impossible situation for them to cover, because it's just so crazy, the turnout of each option being multiplied by 100 shares as a coupon at a very, very short discount. So at some point, maybe that's for a different video, like how they can deal with the options. What they're trying to do right now is negotiate through these other YouTubers and through the media, and I think they're trying to satisfy all this and get it over with, but at a much lower price, so that it can be tolerated. But if this rate keeps going at the way that it is, then it's going to keep going forward, and it's just going to get worse and worse for them. And it's going to become a matter of, like, what can we do about this? Yeah, we didn't cause this, but they will be so sure to go ahead and spin that narrative into the media to make the rest of the world out there that don't know. I mean, guys, we're a very tiny group, so that are investors in this market. So like, if the rest of the nation starts getting through the media that we are the ones that are ruining the economy, I mean, we can scream and cry out wolf all we want, and say that they're the ones who did it, the hedge funds did it, but people who don't understand anything about the market are not going to understand anything we're talking about. In fact, if they see the news, which is mainly owned by the hedgies, if they keep pushing out these articles about us that saying that we're the ones who's destroying the economy, we're the ones, the reason why their 401ks are screwed and blah blah blah, then we will look like public enemy number one. They will call us greedy, whatever, even though they're the ones who caused this. They're the ones who did this. They stole a lot of money from us, and they're trying to get away for free with it. So the only thing we can do, guys, again, I'm not a financial advisor, guys, neither that this is financial advice, or I'm telling you, insinuating that you should go act on this or whatever. But personally, for me, let's see, I think that, because I have to choose my words carefully, personally, I think that we need to keep that idea alive, that the idea of what we want for what we have, because no one is going to force me to sell my land. These shares represent land to me. This is how I'm thinking of my shares, and the only way that I'll let my land go is for its rightful value. I don't care what I bought it for a year ago or years ago, whatever. You get the point, guys. This is what it's worth now, and this is what I want to sell it for. You don't like it, then I don't want to sell. Who's losing? You are. Because again, I'm just holding, buying and holding at and I bought at really cheap prices. Um, you're gonna take off the stock, then you have to basically, the only way you can take off the stock is if you take off the whole company, and you can't take off that stock. If you can spend it for a period of time, maybe they can do that. Um, but again, they would. It's a publicly traded company, guys. It's not a private company. It's a public traded company. So even if they wanted to go back and take it private, this is why you need to think about these things. This is what they use to try to scare you guys, especially these YouTubers out there. You want to take it off, you want to expel it, whatever, then okay. Then they have to pay off. When they would eventually have to go and see how many shareholders are in this company, and they have to be paid off so that this company can go private if it wants to go private and it doesn't want to stay public. Because obviously if it stays public, then it cannot, there's no way that it can stay public and be off the trading platforms. It's just, that's how it is. If it's going to go private, fine, then you have to buy back all your shares. Then you will literally force them to do something that is absolutely a no-go for them, which is, how many shares are out there, how many people, okay, go ahead, you'll have to buy all of us back. Now the company has to buy us all back out. Doesn't matter synthetic or not, I bought through this. Now they have to deal with the broker that sold you. They shouldn't have sold you because we only put out 500 million and 513 million shares. It's a bigger mess there than now. So you either pay me off now, or the case, is going to be a public scenario and everybody's going to know about it, obviously, and it's going to be much worse then. It will never go to that. They will never let it go to that. They're trying to scare you that it will take it to that, but it's just like someone who's, giving you, who's trying to scare you off, saying, hey, I dare you, I'll do it. And if you're that badass, like I'm that badass, who's gonna be, or I would like to think that I'm that badass, but I'll be like, okay, go ahead, do it. I dare you. Okay, you dare, you're trying to scare me with something. Okay, I don't like to be threatened or getting my arm or my wrist twisted behind my back or whatever. No, go ahead, do it. I will go there with you. You want to take it there? We'll take it there. Again, I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You have everything to lose, and in this case, everything to gain too. So much love, guys. AB Investments. Again, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share it with your friends or in other communities. Maybe we can get everybody to stand on the same page, because this is, again, I'm super worried that this is what they're fixing to give us, and we're right there. We have to make our voices heard that we're not taking no freaking nothing burger. So again, much love. See you later and enjoy your weekend.